Yo, what's up, beautiful soul? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, yo. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you like it. Only get better with time. So, again, my name is Ja Sterling. I am a spirit medium. I talk to the dead. I am an oracle. I see past, present, and future. And I can gauge the energy. I can enter the energy of any situation to gain clarity, universal wisdom, and knowledge. I am also a healer, of which I heal with my hands and I heal with every being. Okay. My goal here is I am a light worker. I serve the utmost highlight God, and it is to expose to the beast and to continue to shed light on dysfunction, pain, and horrible things that are bruises to humanity. At this time, this Ukraine ordeal on Russia is a big bruise on humanity. We must understand that Putin is the new Antichrist, okay? So let's dive into these visuals. All right. Okay, so this is Vladimir Zelensky. He is the president of Ukraine. He was delivering a message recently saying that the United Nations are allowing Putin to kill innocent people. I agree. Okay. The fear here is that Putin is Judy's with China. Okay. And literally Russia and China, they share military force training tactics, and they are like really good. What's the word? They work with each other on not only on defense tactics, but on currency, money, investments, a lot of things, right? Okay. So as I was watching, we must remember that unity is the key to a higher conscious humanity. Okay. What I do like is that 16,000 military volunteers from around the world have been shipped to Ukraine to fight. This is a United States Army reservist who volunteered, who posted on Instagram. Was it Instagram? Yeah, on Instagram. But I think that's YouTube. Yeah, YouTube. And he has volunteered to go fight, which is very honorable, right? But are we just going to have more lives that are being killed, or are, what's the end result of this, right? Okay, my question in my last video was why are people being so diplomatic about this? Okay, and that's what I want to get into. So hats off to those who are giving their life and their freedom for this fight. First of all, a moment of silence for all those children and mothers and fathers and elderly who cannot fight for themselves, those who are mostly exhausted, those who died from not being able to eat or just fighting, okay? Moment of silence for you all. I love you, okay? This is the nuclear power plant in Ukraine. So as I was doing an investigation and research, I know Spirit told me that there are some deep-rooted ties with power, money, that is governing this whole issue. And that's why they've been so diplomatic with this man, and they have not took him down. Okay, there are nuclear power plants and reserves that are in that territory that he was trying to get in control of. And the reason he is so close with China is because, of course, China is like wants in on it as well, right? Okay, so this is a map of Ukraine. That's Kyiv. Okay, that's Russia. And Russia even look dead on this map. Um, so you see where the nuclear power plants are, all in. So when someone feels like they don't have control of these things and these resources, to which that's a lot of money that he probably made a backdoors deal for those reserves. Okay, this is all power, money, greed, and entitlements. Okay, there was an attack on the Ukraine nuclear power plant as well. So I posted, if you can see what right here, I posted, as you can see, that's the nuclear power plant. That there was they opened fire. Um, thank God that there's no radiation leaking. Okay. Um, thank you to CNN. Okay. Um, this is China's president, and this is Putin. Okay, this is them two shaking hands. They're Judies, of course, right? Um, so I want to go ahead and give you guys like a little lesson of like ignorance of racism. You guys have no idea how close in DNA that Russians and Asians are, or Russians are considered Asians. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this is when this whole thing, we are all one. Okay, but anyway, let's get back to the point. Um, you can tell they do these a look. They're like, yeah. Anyway, so China's president told Putin to resolve the conflict with a new negotiation. Okay, the issue with that at this point is that innocent lives have been killed, innocent civilians. One thing in the military we don't do is we do not harm civilians. We don't harm women and children. We just don't do that. Okay, so there's nothing good that's going to come out of this for Putin. So when you're at this place of, again, like I said last time, Putin was a soldier and a dysfunctional soldier at that before he became president. Okay, corrupted. There's a lot of black market corruption in Russia. So he's literally, if he let his guard down, he is going to be killed. Let's be clear. Okay, this whole 60,000 volunteers is a big ploy for the United Nations to act like they're not stepping in so they don't piss nobody off and cause a nuclear war on the world. Okay, so this is like a little, but I know what's going on because I'm a soldier. Okay, but look at them, they look so like they Judies, that is so crazy. But anyway, yeah, so he told him to negotiate. All right, so let me read this for you guys. In just a few days, Russia's invasion of Ukraine has upended decades of international relations. Hold on. That will be the same as before. Even a 5,000-word statement of international relations in a new era issued by China and Russia just a month ago in Beijing to make the world safe of autocracy, right, has been overtaken by events. In this ugly Russian quagmire, China's role and behaviors merit close attention, not least as we wonder whether Ukraine today may be Taiwan tomorrow. Okay? China and Russia have been getting closer for some time. Okay? Like I said, there is some type of good old boy system that they have. But Russia is being smart about being detached. You understand what I'm saying? The binds are visible in bilateral trade, okay, which has more than doubled since 2015 to almost 150 billion. China and Russia's biggest trade partner, while Russia is almost a rounding error in China's global exports. The two countries collaborate in military exercises, regional security arrangements, and technology trade. Okay, which is dangerous because China has some amazing, immaculate technology. I am also a cybersecurity student, so China is what's popping. So it's really crazy because when you have that type of control with technology, money, power, nuclear weapons, there needs to be somebody needs to intervene in this so it doesn't get out of control. Like again, a hit dog will holler. Okay, period. Something, you know what I'm saying? Um, I don't understand why a sniper ain't went in there on him yet. Like, come on, ain't nobody gonna say nothing. Ukraine crisis poses a dilemma for China, but also opportunity. Let's be clear. Headed by control obsessed dictators pledged to remain in power and protect their elites, they have both been gifted political opportunities created by, for example, the long tail of the 2008 Western financial crisis, Brexit and European political weakness, Donald Trump and COVID management issues, as um, democracies. Okay, so with this pandemic, I want you guys to understand. First, I am a servant of the utmost high light, and I am a spiritual ambassador of the universe. So things have got to go in line with spirituality. The pandemic, at this moment, there's an attack on DNA. This attack on DNA is causing neurological effects and people to do crazy things because things need to come to a head because of Jupiter coming into motion. Okay. Something happens during this time of every 200 and so odd years, 2000 maybe 2000. Um, Something happens to where it's like a nasty pimple where things come to a head. And I mean, war, it has to happen in order for the new world to be born. As I stated before, in order to get new crop, you have got to burn the old. So everything comes to a head. And I have an example later on in this news broadcast that tells you the example of the Civil War of something that happened in the United States. Of kind of not really the same magnitude, but kind of money, power, and property, and that type of um, hungry, greedy, fleshly issue that needed to be burnt in order to crop up to a new world. Okay, and this is making people's spirits being tested. So as you're being tested, if you're being tested and you're not passing your test, this is the worst resort. Um, so unfortunately, this has to happen in order to get that green grass, if that makes sense. Mm. Putin's awkward and brutal invasion on Ukraine doesn't change any of this, but it changed the Sino-Russian relationship consummated at the Olympics on 4 February and caused China um, consternation. Considerable speculation forces on the China president how he knew. It is hard to believe that China's president was not forewarned about something going on. Of course, because they Judies, right? Especially as this U.S. tried to brief him with intelligence, only to be rebuffed. We also know Russian troops were subsequently moved from the Far East to Ukraine, and China is thought to have brought back previous released oil into the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Whatever the reality, China is deemed to have been complicit, at least by supporting Russia and backing it since leaving it uncomfortably on a spiky fence. Um, okay, that is very self-explanatory because China definitely knew what was going on. Okay, China definitely knew what was going on, but see, China is playing that throwing the stones and hiding your hands. You feel what I'm saying? Because they know that people rely on China, so people aren't going to be quick. Just like they're kind of being very walking on eggshells with Putin. You know what I'm saying? Again, if it was anybody else, a sniper would have went in there already. Because the war isn't with the people, the war is with the president, and the president is actually killing his own people without remorse. He don't understand when you get to that type of level of toxicity and spiritual warfare where you cannot tackle your shadow self to conflict resolute, to handle a situation diplomatic. It's time for you to go down, baby. You know. So I definitely encourage the United Nations to do whatever they need to do with their resources to nip this at the butt before it get to a place of more casualties. Or I'm starting to believe that there is definitely, as there already is, a sense of control in the universe of the flesh and this whole pandemic thing and all that of control, mass control. And So with all that going into retrospect, um, this cleanse is just unbelievable, you know. But I can't wait to see what happens when the green grass starts sprouting. So I wanted to go back to the Civil War where Lincoln um, needed volunteers. Lincoln had 90-day volunteers in 1861, right? And this was their outfits. They was look, they got their weapons, they got that, doing they thing. You feel me? Um, this was a territories of which was we were being what we were fighting for. And it was freedom, money, power, and the whole nine. So it was kind of similar. But it caused division of great magnitude. I mean, trying to stop slavery, trying to it was just too much. Um, but the ending of it, it turned out to be more of a balanced United States. We still have work to do, but it turned out to be a more of a balanced nation after the Civil War. Um, so this is I wanted to post this because it's kind of a similar kind of war. Okay, unnecessary lives. Lincoln calls for 75,000 volunteers, 90-day service to put down the rebellion. Northerners rushed to enlist. They were against racism, against all the just slavery. It's just against a lot of stuff. And in a reaction to the South, with the call of volunteers, the 8 remaining Union slave states now forced to choose a side. Confederate states ready to call up men. First Virginia, then Arkansas, Tennessee, and North Carolina succeed. Okay, so I wanted to put this up there because it's an example of what greed and of money, power, and freedom. This narcissistic pandemic that gets into people's souls. This is narcissism at its worst. Okay, so I had to reference the Civil War with this new war. This all is narcissism of the worst magnitude. And if we fight narcissism at a core level and address it on a spiritual level, we won't have so much war. You understand what I'm saying? Um, these are some more soldiers that volunteered. Um, who I know them soldiers. I remember when I was in the military, I got homies that just wanted to die for their country. I was that soldier too, until I realized that maybe not. That's not what I want to do because I felt like I needed to serve God on a deeper level. So I just didn't want to just give my life. But I got homies that just love war. Them the ones that's gonna volunteer, and everybody got something to do, right? Um, so what I want to go with this is that these we're dealing with a lot of men with the Donald Trump complex. Okay, a Donald Trump complex that it does not care as long as his family is okay and together. He doesn't care about the civilians. Okay, so we are literally losing souls. First, we need to remember we are one. Okay, we are one. Okay, my soul, your soul, our soul. We're losing souls. We're losing. I just seen this 8-month-old baby shot in Ukraine. 8-month-old mama just crying. I couldn't fathom. Mothers walking with their kids in 2022 miles for help. Unacceptable. Again, what happened to Gandhi, who walked for peace and unity, right? What happened to conflict resolution, true conflict resolution, where we can agree to disagree, but both one party don't have to walk away with a whole bunch of casualties? I don't understand. Narcissism is the pandemic. Narcissism feeds the beast. Narcissism is the root of all evil. Okay? And we got to do better. Because regardless of what humanity wants to see, is that Putin is a reflection of all of us. So we need a sniper. We need a sniper. I ain't for no snipers, but I think we need a sniper. The homie, he opened fire on a nuclear plant. That's a no-go. But I told y'all days ago that that was going to happen. Check my receipts. I told y'all days ago he is not caring. At this moment, he is in a soldier mentality. Okay, you either ready to be killed or prepared to kill under any circumstances when your freedom and your family, because you know he got family that he's trying to protect. The man's scared. You feel me? And a scared narcissist? No, sir. No, sir. You got to take them out, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? You know, we need to spread the narrative. You don't have to know them to love them. You don't have to know them to wish them well. You don't have to identify with them to love them. You don't have to identify with them to wish them well. Nothing that is malleable, that you cannot take with you in spirit, is worth killing a woman, a child, or a fellow brethren. Unity is the key to a higher conscious humanity. Okay, we are all one. Okay, we allowed this man to use his narcissist ways to try to control nations and kill multiple civilians. Unacceptable, unacceptable. I'm just seeing these kids crying. He has childhood trauma. They let this man become president with childhood trauma. He has PTSD. He don't even love himself. He drinks heavily. Spirit said he is not the one to be trying to be diplomatic with. Unfortunately, he is not. Okay? We must tack narcissism at a butt. And anybody that is narcissist in a position of power needs to be taken off their throne. And we need somebody righteous to take the throne. Again, you don't have to know them to love them. You don't have to know them to wish them well. I want a moment of silence for all those who have died in this chaos. For all the mothers, the children, the fathers, the elderly. I want to say a prayer for them. Okay? Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, so we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. Do not forget your spiritual support team of those of whom you stand on the shoulders of. Just because you're a Christian does not mean you don't stand on top of some amazing ancestors. Okay? Do not forget, these angels work with God, and they can intervene. Okay, we've got to open up spiritually. We got to evolve to a higher consciousness. And higher consciousness means one, unity, no pain. Okay, tackle that shadow work. If you feel like you got narcissist traits, work on those and learn how to love. Love. I just love that word, bro. Rest easy, rest easy, rest easy. All them innocent people. And then the racism over there. I'm sorry, I'll keep talking. But I just don't understand. I mean, I do understand. It's narcissism. Narcissism has got to be nipped at the bud. He is a direct reflection of the bruise of humanity. We've allowed him to do this for years and be corrupted and corrupt the nation. Where is the sniper? Where is the hit? Now is not the time to be diplomatic. We have nuclear weapons that are left vulnerable. U.S. nations. We have innocent civilians. Nobody, no country does innocent civilians losing their life. Newborn babies in Ukraine in a basement having oxygen pumped to them in little situations. You want your baby out there like that? We got to do better. Unacceptable. I'm about to get in my feelings. I don't like pain and seeing people going through unnecessary pain, and people can step in. So hats off to those who stepped in. Is the 16,000 soldiers. I would love to do that, but I got my mission. I actually would love to do that, but I don't think I'm ready at this moment. But hats off to all those who have volunteered to go and give their life. You understand what I'm saying? Because Putin is not holding back. So for you 16,000, I pray that you guys make it back. And I send love and light. Okay? Narcissism must end. Power, control, greed. These things you cannot take, are not malleable. You can't take them to heaven. You can't. But love is immortal. Love is forever. I love you guys. Again, you don't have to know them to love them. You don't have to know them to wish them well. You are more than a conqueror. You are victorious. Good night.